Welcome to the Awakened Goddess Show, your source for inspiration, wisdom, and personal discovery. The place to learn from a diverse mix of mentors, metaphysical experts, spiritual leaders, and best-selling authors from around the world. I'm your host, Angela Wilkinson. Join me as I explore the minds of my masterful guests while they share powerful insights and easy-to-use tools you can start using right away. Now, let's tap into the energy of the Awakened Goddess and be enlightened by today's guest. Well, good morning and welcome to this week's episode of the Awakened Goddess Show, where we co-create powerful, conscious conversations on the leading edge. And happy Mother's Day!
Happy Mother's Day!
I figured, this is Mother's Day, and of course I would have to have my dear mother on the show.
I didn't tell her to say that.
So this is Joyce, if you've never met Joyce. She is, I have to say, the best mother in the world. Hopefully you can say that about your mom. But
Thank you.
If not, my mom is always willing to be a mother to
anyone.
Anyone. My best friend Karen, she's
Yes.
like her second mom. And
If Karen's watching,
yes.
Happy Mother's Day to you too. And all the mothers out there.
Yes,
All
happy
the mothers,
Mother's Day to
absolutely.
all the mothers out there. I thought today would be a really fun day to just honor motherhood and talk about mother-daughter relationships and maybe talk about our relationship.
Our beginning.
Yes.
Oh gosh, our beginning, yeah.
Our beginning. Here, well, let's start with a cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers to
Let's
all
take
the
the
mothers
journey
out there.
through motherhood.
Yeah. So, well, I wasn't there, so
Well,
Maybe you
all
should-
mothers that are listening, and even those who aren't mothers but want to be mothers, it's a fabulous journey through your life experience, and mine was extra special. Everybody's going to say that about their own birth experience, but Angela is my only birth child. And did you want me to tell the story? Because I love this story.
Oh,
about
go
you.
ahead.
You have to ask me questions as we go. But yeah, I'm going to tell you about my experience with decision to have a child. I was an entertainer and so busy with my life and knew that I did not want to have a family until I was prepared to have a family. So I didn't have Angela till I was 25 and a half.
And back in those days,
that was considered an old age. Yeah, But I did not want to have a child till I was through with my career, which I was a dancer, a Hawaiian show dancer, and we traveled an awful lot and toured and such. But after we moved in, bought our home, I became pregnant and enjoyed every minute of my pregnancy. It was an easy pregnancy. And I remember the night before Angela was born, they were going to induce me because they thought she was getting a little bit too big. She wasn't, but she was perfect. But anyway, I remember sitting in the bathtub, and I think I've told you this, Angela. Our bonding began at that moment, I think, all the way through the pregnancy. But that evening before going to bed, I took a bath and I talked to my belly, which was you, and you were going to be born the next day. So I was so excited because I had no clue whether you were a boy or girl, because in those days they didn't test for the gender. So I had no idea, but I wanted a girl so badly, but I didn't want to jinx myself, so I wouldn't allow my mind to go that way. But I talked to you in my tummy, and I had boys' names and girls' names picked out, and I'm going to cut the story short here because they induced, and you were born, and
12:10, as my mom reminds me every
12:10,
single
it was a
year.
perfect time because she waited for lunch. Yeah, and so the next thing I knew, she's right here and bundled in pink, and I was just smitten and in love from that moment on. And the journey has been, I would say, for my experience with having a child, the easiest I've ever, of anybody that I've talked to, because Angela's never given me not one day of distress or struggle or
Oh, don't
rebellion.
lie. Don't lie,
No,
Mother.
honestly, and we've had some fun adventures all the way. I will say that at one point I had to go back to work, so that was a little of a bump. She was 5, and we remarried. I remarried, and that was a bump in her life. But and I had to go to work, so that was my separation from being a mother with her, working all at 8 hours a day. And I know so many mothers work really pretty much their growing up time with their children, and that's an important bond that you're cheated of that time together. But anyway, we made the best of it, and I was able to quit work when she was about 13, and then we just did everything together that we could do. I was involved in school and dance team, and
go dance team.
Yeah, it was very, very fun. I was always the makeup mom, and they crowned me Miss Maybelline, Mrs. Maybelline. Is it Maybelline?
Yeah.
The product, yeah. And so I enjoy every minute I spend with my daughter Angela, and I'm very, very proud of her. She's accomplished an amazing amount. Am I making this too quick and short?
No, I was gonna say, journey. But this is about you, not just not about me.
Yeah.
This is Mother's Day, so.
Yeah. Well, for me, the experience has been, there's nothing in comparison, because it gives you the greatest joy of anything you could possibly think of to do for a career. To me, that was my career choice, was to be a mom in the fullest extent of that job. And the only thing that compares close to that is taking care of the kiddos, which I do now instead of
the four-legged kiddos.
Yeah, the four-legged kiddos, because I tend to nurture. My Cancer sign is Cancer. My what is that? Star sign, astrological sign is Cancer, which those are known to be highly mothering to anybody and everybody they come across. So whether people want my advice or not, I tend to nurture everybody. But taking care of the kiddos, I get to do that now when Angela's so busy that we can't spend one-on-one time. I have the kiddos to spend time with. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so what would you like daughters or children of, moms, what would you like them to know about, the things that mothers don't necessarily tell their children?
Mothers don't tell their children?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the rules and regulations?
No, like, you guys anyone that's a parent works so hard, and you try to always do the best for your children, and sometimes you put yourself last, and there are things that maybe, a lot of times children especially don't give their parents credit for, or they don't acknowledge, or, we're not thanking you every single day for cleaning the house and doing the laundry and all of those things. All the things that are just innately required of you to do, and, there's very little,
Well, I think
reward.
When children are grown, they see that when they become grown-ups and adults and take on the responsibilities, parents tend to tell them, well, I did this and I did that. The kids don't really realize it till they become grown-ups and are parents, maybe parents themselves. Then they realize, and the aha moments start to set in. But the values, to me, are extremely important. Values of I get all emotional about this, but of loving loving nature, just the basics are important to me.
Well, okay, the basics to you, though, are not the basics to everyone. So I want to know,
stop the madness.
What are your values?
Values?
What were you saying earlier in the pre-show? Do you even remember?
No, I don't remember, because I've been drinking.
Oh, my mom considers one sip of wine drinking. She's like, I already feel it. I've had one sip.
Refresh my memory. What was it?
I don't remember.
You've had the same amount as I have.
Well, it's not because of that. Because I'm so in the moment.
I am too. That's it. Maybe that's the values. Be in the moment. And you're always telling me that, Angela. Because I am crazy in my head trying to do for so many people and things, and I've narrowed it down that's what you're telling me. Be in the moment. And I've lost that, but that's what I always think is so valuable, is getting back to the very, very basics of of your surroundings and noticing your surroundings. Luckily, we are in a location that is an acre property that's very, very private, and it's like we're the only ones on the planet here. It's when we step outside of this location and we get on the highways and we go to do our what everybody else does, their everyday stuff, work and driving in traffic and shopping and yada yada yada, that you can't really appreciate the beauty we have on the planet. And I am fortunate enough, and I've nurtured my yard because I'm the hired help, um, making it a Shangri-La for me. And so it's my safety zone. Being in my quarters here is my safety zone. And I hate to say it, but there's so many people on the planet that don't have that retreat. So this is my retreat. This is where I prefer to stay, because it gets too crazy out there. But values, um, values.
Well, I think time is the most valuable asset that we have, and you can't get more time. And
No,
so I think
no.
that you mentioned this when you said you had to go back to work and that you felt like you lost that time, and we can't get that time back when we're spending with the people that we care about. And I think often we get wrapped up in what society tells us that we need to accomplish or achieve or have, these materialistic things, and we get in this rat race of trying to achieve those things and always kind of say, okay, I'll get to that when.
Yeah.
And the
Exactly.
when, that time never comes, because there's always something or someone that's going to put something on your plate or on your to-do list that you feel like you
Would
have
be
to
me.
do. Yeah. Yeah, I think often we put the things on our own to-do list.
Mhm.
But I think that is such a huge thing that that we all need to really be mindful of and really protect our time, because you can.
It's fleeting. It's so
Yeah.
it's gone, and then you don't want to have regret, because you didn't capture the time that you had or the moment you had. And what I tell you is that my priorities are my priorities are my priorities, and things come before myself or something else. Yeah.
And then I'm always telling her, but we as individuals, we are the center of our own universe. There is no one that's going to take care of us how we really need to be honoring and taking care of ourselves. And so I'm always telling my mom, that the advice thing, I must have gotten it from you.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting a lot of advice nowadays. It's a good thing. I'm seeing she's actually turning into her mother. She's doing, and that that warms my heart, because I think I exude certain values that I am proud to see that she's kind of adopted, and that makes me happy, because I think it's right on. And valuing time is important, and um, nurturing the temple. I mean, I do keep a crazy busy life, but I look at each and every individual. Um, you have one experience right now to savor and enjoy it. Even though as busy as I am, I stop and I tell myself that I love myself. I look at myself in the mirror, and I take a deep breath, and I nurture myself, because if I'm not here, I can't take care of everybody else, and that's very vital to me, to do that. And I think that's my mission, is to nurture as many people as I can. But I do nurture myself. People don't think I do, but they don't know how much mind talk I do. I think I am the most important person, because it begins here. And you come in this world alone, and you actually die alone. You're within your own self, and your mind and your body, and that's your own personal journey. So I'm experiencing that, and people think I do too much for other people, but no, 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 no. I have enormous amount of energy. I thank the Creator for giving me enough energy for 3 people, because I expend every bit of it. Um, and I think that's a good thing. I enjoy doing it. And so when people worry about me, I say, I've got it all under control. I get crazy sometimes, but who doesn't?
Right.
Who doesn't, you know?
Yeah, we all have our moments.
Yeah.
And one of the things that, you know, I'm really grateful for is that, you know, you talked about our relationship at the beginning and you know, being a teenager and you know, we were like best friends and we did everything together. We were attached at the hip. And, yeah, I mean, it was interesting because we had other people that were kind of jealous of the relationship that we had.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. Yes, they do, and they keep asking. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no!
They keep asking. You know, are you really guys really best friends? And I don't know. From Angela's point of view, I get really emotional about it. But yeah, we are. She is my best friend. She's the one I go to when I need anything or advice. I go to her now because she's so intelligent. She's grounded, and she helps keep me grounded when I get crazy because I get very enthusiastic and emotional. You know, she's more calm and centered, and I get like crazy town.
It's like that little like wheel.
Well, I'm known as the Energizer Bunny because I go a little bit. I speak a little bit too fast, and I move a little bit too fast for most people's.
Well, that's just when you get wound up.
Yeah, and which is most of the time.
At least once a day.
But I have to say that I'm extremely positive, and I embrace everything, almost everything. The negative I try and throw away, but I embrace everything. And I think people kind of are jealous about that too because they don't know how to find it. And the relationship that we have, I hold in very high regard. And I do know that people have made personal comments to me that say, you know, do you guys really like each other that much? Yeah, we do. But you know what? Angela, don't have the perfect relationship. I mean, what's perfect on this planet? We're not here to be perfect. We're here to learn and grow. So Angela has some really good debates. We have really good debates.
And that's the thing is that you and I, we are, because we've done our own personal development work, our own spiritual growth, we don't hold like a grudge or like, you know, we both have that softer energy inside where even if we are angry at each other, like we can't stay angry for very long, you know. What, maybe an hour?
If even that, or if we which I love. We love everything, so we don't want to hurt anything, harm anything.
No.
I mean, bugs. I mean, I'm not going to kill anything. I'll just carry a little ant out to the yard and put it back on the banister. And you know, I think we have the core.
We're empaths.
Yes.
My mom only realized she was an empath,
a year
6
ago.
months ago?
Yeah.
And then it just all of a sudden hit her. Because I was like, I think you might be an empath. Because I am extremely empathic. Where I can feel other people's feelings. Like when I was doing therapy as a professional therapist, that was when I really learned that I was an empath. And because I could feel in my body where other people were feeling their anxiety or whatever. So that's being a physical empath. And then like watching movies or like if anything gets hurt, animals or anything traumatic, I'll tear up. I'll start crying. You know, so I have to be very careful about what I watch.
I know. I just we are exactly that way, and mine is ramping up as I progress through my journey through life, and I'm becoming wiser, and you know, just raising up my vibration. I find it's becoming more intensified.
Yeah.
In the biggest way, and I embrace it. Actually, I think it's a good thing to be able to feel and experience what other people or other things are going through, even anything. We're all energy, and I don't care if it's the hummingbirds, which is on the twig over there, or the plants, or the animals, or anything.
Yeah,
I feel it. I do feel it.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, the animals can feel it too, because like we have such. because my mom is so busy with her dog sitting business, I have taken on the clients where, I go and stay in their homes.
Lucky girl.
I know. Lucky
You should
me.
see these homes.
I know. I feel so blessed. You know, I'm not going to get into that now, but
she rolls her bag out to the. Bye, bye, mom. I'm going.
I have my nanny bag packed, and yes, the refrigerator stocked, and
Anyway, so she does that.
And Debbie even said, "Here, I would love for you to take my car, my nice Lexus."
We have some very
SUV.
Nice clients, and we love their kiddos. They're the 4-footed kiddos, and And
but what I was saying is because we are so sensitive and we're attuned, and animals can feel that, and people can too. But animals, you notice how easily they connect with us, and we do that as humans as well, and but everybody's just so darn busy that a lot of people aren't tuned into that energy. And I really think that most people are truly empathic.
You do?
But I think, and psychic as well, but we're all so busy. And we're also infused with all of the stuff around us, whether it's
technology,
chemtrails, AI, all of this stuff.
Don't get me started, please.
I know, I'm like poking the bear. All of this stuff that is invading in our way our natural human beingness, and it's taking us, this is one of the biggest struggles I find with clients or people that I walk through the envisioning process, is that we're all looking for these answers outside of us. We're looking for this external validation, whether it's in physical, like belongings, like what you own, the cars, the houses, or whatever, or if it's like always needing other people to tell us how great we are, whatever. We're so focused on everything outside of ourselves that we're not really having that connection and develop that relationship within. So I think
we're so far beyond that. I mean, I will check in with, we did it before the show, check in with Angela, and she'll check in with me. Just fun things, little simple things. Do you think this looks good on me? But I don't go beyond any of that. I don't need any of that stuff anymore. Not at my point in my life now. We are growing spiritually, and we work on that on a day-to-day basis. And I wish that for everybody, because it makes me giddy knowing that we are so controlled on the outside world that I don't want to be a part of that, period. And I am not possession minded. I need my space, I need my home, and I need everybody else to stay the heck away. I mean, control, government, whatever. Don't get me started there either.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, what's been interesting is that, there's so many things to talk about, but our spiritual development it's been interesting to watch, how we've grown. And, my belief is that there's reincarnation, and we choose our experience before we get here. We choose our parents, and, I clearly chose you to be my mom, and we had this.
We chose each other.
Yeah.
In our soul contracts. You and I have talked about that so many times. We know that's our belief system. We know that. And of course, there'll be people who believe something entirely different, but I know I interrupted you, but so we've compared notes. Yes.
Well, but what fascinated me was that, when you look at our spiritual paths, we are kind of on two different streams, which is interesting, and I think it's so cool because we I believe we're all going to the same end result. So whatever path resonates for you, whether it's Christianity or
any of them,
metaphysics, whatever. The ultimate goal is pretty much the same. Everybody's trying to get to the same place. And what's been interesting is that I've been fascinated by, one arena of things, like paranormal, metaphysics, that kind of stuff. And the stuff that you've been really drawn to has been more of the extraterrestrial, the universal forces, the anything?
Galactic forces.
Galactic forces.
The inner earth, you name it. Yep. And absolutely, everybody's got to find their own way. It's your own personal journey. Mine is exciting, and it gets more and more exciting every single day. And I'm rooting for a really positive outcome for everybody on the planet, and I think that's where we're raising to. I definitely know that we're raising in our vibration, because everything is energy, and we're vibrating, and ours is lifting and raising up higher, and that's what's supposed to happen right now. And I am just giddy that I'm on board. It took me a little while to get there. It's a learning experience, and I started, oh my gosh, 20 years ago, but it's very, very long, slow, peeling away the layers and finding the truth. And that's what we all want, is truth, and you find that within. And we've been so bombarded with technology that keep us busy, so we don't have the time to go within. I have the time to go within. I walk with my bare feet on the earth, and I talk to my plants, and I talk to my kiddos. I've had the opportunity to slow my life down, because I'm going to be moving into another number now here in another couple months. And so I have the joy to be able to experience that. I'm out of the working world. Oh, I'm working really hard being a mom, being a wife, being a pet sitter. Oh my gosh, I'm busy from day in and day out, but I do nurture myself, and I do connect with the Creator and the energy and the forces around me. And that's helping me to wake up and grow. And that's really what I want for the planet as a whole, so we can all raise the vibration higher, because that's where the good stuff is, not in the negative and low vibrations. There's so many levels and layers. It goes really, really high. We're at the third dimension. There's like
that's the physical world.
Physical, yeah. We're in the physical world, and we're weighted down with it by the physical. But we're all going to move up and get there. It's just, and I'm delighted you and I are on the same path.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll be skipping down that gold,
the
yellow brick road.
When we shut everything else out, we are very, very happy. It's when we include the news or the weather or the
even
politics,
going shopping at the mall.
Yeah, we don't do any of that stuff. We create our own world. We eat really good food, and we make everything from scratch, and we nurture our bodies, and we don't buy into a lot of stuff. We don't do all that stuff, because we know that we're helping ourselves raise up a little faster that way. But it's not judgment on anybody else, because it's a crazy world out there. People are
and we
meant
all
to
have our own comfort zones.
Yes.
Yeah. I had to arm wrestle you a little bit about certain things, but
oh, she did, yeah.
Yeah, because I this year for me, my word is ease. So I've been looking at, how do I streamline my life? How do I make things easier? How do I release anything that doesn't bring me ultimate joy? It's not supporting me in the direction I want to go. And that's been a really interesting experience. And what I've found is that that mindset and partnering that with the envisioning experience and doing that visualization and really embodying that things have been manifesting, including money, very quickly or very easily. So
that was huge. That was I'm going to tell you, ladies or gentlemen, whoever's watching, that was huge for me, because I do it's a generational thing between Angela and I, because she does find ease because she's a different generation than I am. My generation is, you got to strive and struggle and work and work.
Well,
and work
wait a
and
second.
hard. Yeah,
that's a story.
That is a story.
Because that's a story. I had the same story about
that's a story.
struggle.
Yeah,
that things had to be hard. That you had to work really hard to get them. That that is just a cultural.
And you can change
story.
the story, and I am changing that story. And Angela will tell you, if she ever gets a chance to meet you personally, that I am not the same person I was a few years ago, because I am realizing that all that I don't have to play the same recording over and over and over. I can create a new one, which I'm abundant, and things come easy to me too. Everything in life can come easy It can be hard or it can be easy. I choose easy now.
Yeah.
It's a focused thought. It's a focused thought. And the envision process, boy, oh boy, did that help me, because of the way I have that broken record. I went through the envision experience, and maybe they don't even know what the envision experience is, but she'll tell you about it in a minute. But it helped.
Thanks,
it
Mom.
made huge difference in me. Gosh, that's it was all positive, by the way. It was very, very positive.
Well, your dog sitting business went from not being a business to being a practically fully booked business.
No, it is fully booked. It's fully booked, and I get where that's what brings me joy. I mean, nobody else. Unless you're a pet sitter, my friends look at me like I'm crazy. What do you mean you take care of 7 dogs at the same time? And I walk them, hand lead them in my yard, and it's not their thing; it's my thing. It brings me absolute joy. And as crazy as it gets with the kiddos, I do not stress about the rest of the world, and it doesn't bring me down like the heaviness of the outside world. It's what do they eat? When did they go potty? That kind of stuff. And that brings me joy, fills me up. And I improved with the envision experience, because that was my goal, was to create a pet sitting business. And the moment I finished that video and started watching it, I was booked, and I'm booked throughout the summertime. And here's the deal. If I'm booked with kiddos, they get to come to the beach, to my beach house with me, as long as I don't have 7 in the car. But it doesn't stop my enjoying my life at the beach and enjoying other things. It's just, it means I increased what I envisioned. Right. Which was what the whole process of the vision is speaking to yourself on camera, convincing yourself that you can manifest it. And it did, starting the next day. Actually, when I did the envision thing and I got my copy of it and I watched it, because Angela edits it down and it's in your own words and you're speaking to yourself, I got jobs the next day. It happened that quickly. Mm-hmm. And because I'm acting a little astounded, because me in the third dimension doesn't believe it can happen. But when you do the envision experience, you start to believe, and then it does, because you believe it. So, and you have the passion behind it. Bing, bing, bing. Is that a commercial or what?
I know. Wow. She ate a few sips of wine, and you can see how much, and I love it because you can see how much passion that you have, because like you got going, and then you could really, and that's what the envisioning is all about, is where we walk you through a process where not only are you dreaming, but you're dreaming bigger. You're asking for more than you ever asked before, and then you have the confidence and knowing that you can have it, and then you get in this state, which you actually just accessed, where you feel it so much and you know it. And then because you're tapping into that 5D energy, because 5D energy is where anything is possible. There's unlimited possibilities. And so you basically take it from 5D and bring it through, and it manifests in the 3D, in this physical reality, because your mind doesn't know the difference between when you're imagining or envisioning and what we call reality. And so,
and it's exactly a feeling too. I mean, there's a big, huge feeling behind it when you start to do this whole process. And it's part of my makeup. I exude energy and excitement, so it's maybe a little bit easier for me. I had to convince my mind and my pattern, but and I already had the enthusiasm. Once I could train my mind to think that way, it just ramped up. And
but it was easier than you thought, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And when I come in, like I go to a workout class every day, and when I come in, it's infective, because
infectious.
Sorry,
infectious.
It's the wine. It's infectious, because my friends will ask me, the first thing they'll ask me is, do you have another kiddo, or who's coming today? And so I'm making them happy too, because they're happy because they see me happy. So it spreads, and that's what I want to do. Is I want to spread joy too. I want you to have as much joy in your life. So if you have anything to envision, here's the person to bring it out in you, and it's all good. It's really all good.
See, isn't my mom great? She's like a walking billboard.
I'm
for
a
me.
cheerleader for it. I'm a cheerleader. What can I say?
Yes. So those that are watching on Facebook Live, you can type challenge in the comments, and what that's going to do is that's going to register you for a 5-day Envision challenge, where I simplify the process and then walk you through it step by step, because I'm really excited, because the next envisioning experience is coming up June 1st. So that is the intention that I have set, is that we're going to kick that off, and yeah, I'm excited to see
I'm ramping mine up.
Yes,
I'm
you
ramping
should.
it up.
You should, because that's what this experience is about, is really one of the first things we do is really stretch your comfort zone on how much you're comfortable asking for, because we're all asking for way too little.
I know, and you know what? That's why I need the second time around too, because you have to kind of grow into it, because we're not conditioned to think that we can have all the stuff, or whatever it is you want to call forth. And I didn't ask for enough the first time around. I visioned, she pulled it out of me to vision high, but I wasn't believing totally that it would happen. So now I'm going to ramp it up the second time around, because I'm feeling more confident. I'm feeling that I have the power to do that. And that's a convincing thing to yourself, because the way we are on this planet, in the third dimensional world. So, I'm taking one step at a time that works for me. And so, because it's not believable to do it the other way. Oh, I'm reaching for the moon, it's going to happen. For me personally, I didn't buy it. I took it in increments, and this time I'm ready to ramp it up to the next level, and I may need a third and fourth and fifth, because
but see, each time you're in a different place, and you know, now that you know what the process is, what it feels like, and then it, that's the great thing about it, is you can constantly envision something bigger that that you want to achieve. Yeah. All it is normalizing your big dreams and normalizing them, so it is your normal.
Well, I'm gonna have to speak for me personally, because you speak to yourself on camera, and you have to look yourself in the face and ask for things, and that's not part of my journey through my childhood, is never asking for things. I'm not like some people who have a huge ego that have no problem asking for things and expecting it. It's been a little bit
there's
different
very
journey.
little people that can do that.
Well, we know one.
I know.
Yeah, we know a few, but for me, it's been a little more of a journey. But it's all out there, and so I wish it for myself, and I wish it for everybody else too. But you have to go through the envision process. They'll help you get there, definitely.
Yes. So I'll just say, if you want more information, because my mom is doing such a brilliant job at like putting it out there for me. Thank you, Mom. You can go to theawakenedgoddess.com/envision-experience. Envision, ENVISION -experience. Hyphen is the one that is the little dash in the middle. So, and then you'll get more information about it. And, but yeah.
And may I say this?
Go ahead.
Angela does a fantastic job because it's mother-daughter relationships. It's a little harder to be, to pull information from moms sometimes or daughters sometimes. But whoever she's working with, she does a beautiful job of nurturing you and coaxing you and helping you to move along and make a bigger and bigger picture for yourself. And because she knows my history and my journey, she helped me along in what I needed, what was a gentle pulling along. And because I'm not comfortable in front of the camera, or I'm a very shy person, believe it or not, she helped me. And that's what's awesome about this, is she'll help each and an individual get the best envision process out of you to make your wildest dreams come true. And they're not that wild, actually. They're totally attainable.
And so that is such a good point, because the framework I create, the intention I set when I create this envision experience is that, I truly believe that anything is possible, because I know that when you do tap into the fifth dimension, the quantum field where anything is possible, that it's just a matter of us having the confidence and feeling that we deserve to have it, and not in an egotistical way, but just knowing that truly that there is so much abundance in the universe. And just because I want something does not mean it's going to take away. Like, even if I wanted to have my own dog sitting business in the same area, does not mean that there's not enough. And that is part of the ego that that screws with us and sabotages our success, because the universe, the quantum field, has to show us and reinforce the beliefs that we are running inside. And so the envision experience is really bypassing those old beliefs, those old stories, and helping you get to a place where you feel it so realistically, and you feel it in your body, that you really do believe that it is possible. And once you get into that, and you can tap into that feeling at any time, then it's inevitable that it manifests in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am like, I'm really excited for this next round, because I too have, my own things that, I really envision on, a frequent basis. And that's what helps.
You want to travel more.
I want to travel more. And, and I already have the framework in place that will happen. I know it will happen. But there are some fine-tuning details where right now I could travel and not get paid to travel, but my envision is that I get paid to travel. I'm paid to travel.
And that's something you
around
did
the
on the
world.
Envision program with me, or the other ladies. You fine tune it, because we just make a blanket, oh, I wish, but she fine tunes it to, you have to be very, very descriptive and very distinct in order to manifest, to get to your fullest gifts, in a sense.
Get the biggest bang for the buck.
Yeah, you have to, and she does that. She brings that through, helps you with that through. And I will say, I was on there with the Envision process the first time around with a group of ladies, and what was nice was that we were rooting for each and every one of us, because you work together with other ladies, and that's what my experience was. And I was excited for them. And, it was a little bit emotional, because you were really rooting for them, and you could see the transformation. Yeah. And they could see the transformation and the enthusiasm I had, which was I was pretty ramped up. And then it just all happened so quick.
Well, and the energy of that excitement fuels every single person's envision, because it's like when other people believe that you can do it, then it reinforces that it is possible. Because we're so used to having people around us that are constantly questioning what it is that we want, or doubting that we can have it, because we're so stuck in old patterns, right? And when you have a group of women, those that are around you, that they don't have like your old story, so they're not buying into an old story. They have a new story for you, and they can hold that energy of, well, why not? That just seems like that's normal. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is Carol Ann, one of the other envisioners, she shared her movie with people.
That was brave.
It was brave. It is brave. And how it's an awesome envision movie and that's what you end up with after the end of the program, the 28-day
Mm-hmm.
program. What's awesome is when people don't realize, when they watch your movie, they think it's already happened. They don't understand that it has not yet happened. And that's how you know, that's a beautiful...
Because you're speaking in the now.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell we're enthusiastic about
I know.
it, huh?
Woo-hoo. So this was supposed to be all about Mother's Day.
we get sidetracked so easy. Oh,
Mother's Day
gosh.
and mother-daughter relationships. But I mean, it's perfect because it all
because it's what we're passionate about. You know?
Yep.
And I have to say that, our partnership, we do partnership in every aspect of so many things. We water ski together, we clean house together, we work in the yard together, we take care of the kiddos together, we do everything, a lot of things
We are
together.
each other's personal assistants.
Yes. And we're separate, but we're, it's the best. It really is the best for me. And I since you moved back home, I'm in happy land.
Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, it's great because it gives me a home base that when I do travel, that, I always
Take
have
care of your kiddo.
Yes, well, I always have a built-in babysitter, and and then I always have a home base. Like when I was in Europe for a month, then and then I can come back, and then who knows where I'm going next.
So you envisioned your perfect world.
I did. Well, and
See how great it works.
And that's the funny thing is when you envisioned your dog sitting business, I had no idea that I was going to participate in
and
that.
she is a gourmet chef.
Yeah, and so
you're welcome.
And so the thing is when stop drinking, Mom. Stop drinking the wine. So what was interesting is that your envision, because it your business took off so much, then I was able to look at you had overflow and you had situations where the dogs needed someone to come to them. You weren't able to, be in both places.
Johnny on the spot. She sees an opportunity. She gets to travel.
Yes,
that's perfect. And the clients are giddy. They're so excited. I mean, what can we have in the house to have you comfortable? And they're so happy. And then when the kiddos come to the house, I got a client that wrote to me yesterday because Daphne, my kiddo that I was taking care of, went home last night, and then I got a text right away, which I took it as a compliment. June said, Daphne's depressed.
Yeah.
Because she went home and the other kiddos weren't here to play with. I mean, she was back at her own home, and this is it's like Disneyland here to them. And of course they get lots of attention, so but you get to travel, and
yes,
and it's a perfect
it is
matchup.
Because for me, I love going from place to place and
I would too,
and living in different places, because I do get bored. I'm an Aries. I'm bored.
Not that brave, but I'm happy for you to do that.
And what's beautiful is that I'm getting paid extremely well, and people they
above
love,
and beyond,
right? And so part of my envisioning is that I do want to travel more, and it's giving me the opportunity to, even if it's just local, I'm still staying in these incredibly 5,000 square foot homes that are just pristine, and would be if I were to select a home, it would be where I would want to live.
Within a few minutes of here, and then it just works out perfect.
Plus, I guess there's no rent there.
I guess our point is whatever you can envision for yourself is a possibility, and she and I are testimonials to that, because we're absolutely giddy about our day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Because,
even though for other people question what it is that we do, and I think that that's a really important point, is that you really need to be, I think a lot of times we let other people talk us out of our dreams, and we have to be really, that's what's great about this
Debbie Downers, or whatever they call them.
This program is that you do have people that are supporting you, and they are cheering you on, and that I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
They get it. Because they read off of the enthusiasm that we have, or the feelings that we have. So.
Oh, but that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
So other people that know you may question your choices and your goals and your
Oh, yeah.
dreams. And you have to be really careful about who you share that with, because your dreams are truly yours and yours only to decide what those look like. And even if they don't align with, say, your mom or your, just name the person in your life, a friend, and they don't think it's a good choice, you have to be really clear and know what is right for you.
That's
what brings you
good
joy.
advice.
Yeah.
Because you will have people want to, you always do, in any family, friends, whatever, acquaintances, they always want to question you or put you on the spot where you start to question yourself. And you want to turn the other way, say thank you very much, and go the other direction, because you want to stay focused and moving forward to your envision. It's not their envision, and a lot of people want to see people fail at things, or they're just not happy people, and they really need the envision process. They do. So I stay surrounded by a circle of friends that are positive like me, and if they're not positive, I'll bring them up and I'll make them positive. I'll find a way to bring them a little bit of a smile to their face or something. But just it's your time to envision and grab that brass ring.
Yeah.
And swing.
Swing. Well, and to go back to what we were talking about, is that time is your most valuable asset, and there is no better time to live your dreams than now. Why wait? Why wait until you get, all your debt paid off? When I was looking at, that was interesting for me, was that for 2 years I was talking about I always wanted to travel to Europe, and I always told myself that I couldn't afford it. I didn't have the money. I had all these debts I needed to pay, and I manifested it, and I didn't have really any money out of pocket. So
Zero.
I still have the debt, but I had this incredible month experience. And so, we have to let go of the constraints of the mind and the ego, because it's going to always tell you can't do it. And we're going like really long, but and
I just want to say, what is good? Okay,
see, my mom, she says she's shy, but get her going, just like me.
So we should stop it here and go eat that fabulous breakfast you're going to make me.
What were you going to say? And then we'll wrap it up.
Well,
with
just that, because of my Envision experience, which was the kiddo sitting, of all things, it was happening so well and so fantastically that I was so busy that it kind of flowed in over to you, which is what she actually envisions for herself, is to travel. And now she's traveling, getting paid to watch kiddos. So actually mine kind of just expanded so big that it flowed into you, which now some of yours will flow into me.
Yeah.
We're doubling down. Stop. We better stop. Show's over.
Where's the gong? Show's over. Okay. Yeah.
Look, I'm only drinking like 3 sips.
Yeah, she's drank like 3 sips of her wine. But you know what? Hey, this is life, and you really want to enjoy it and
well,
take
this is
the
Mother's
opportunity.
Day, and we definitely want any mothers to be, anybody out there, just enjoy and savor your moments in life, and take the time, which is just your moment in time now, and walk in nature. Enjoy your day, and leave the rest of it behind. All of the stuff that I have my lists about, I'm leaving behind today, because this is Mother's Day and I want to enjoy it with Angela, and then we're going to go eat a nice, yummy, good gourmet breakfast.
And lunch. And dinner. Yeah, to finish off our wine.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Wow.
So to all the mothers out there, and whether you're a mother of biological children, adopted children,
crickets,
fur baby children, 4-legged children, 2-legged children, whatever they are. Happy Mother's Day, and enjoy your day. Take time for yourself, and dream big, and
Yeah, definitely. If what my mom was saying about the Envision experience excites you and you really are ready to step into those bigger dreams for yourself, then definitely join us because it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. It's like a new little club.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all right, let's cheers out and enjoy your day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Awakened Goddess Show. I hope you enjoyed today's guest and got something you can start using in your life right away. For more spiritual insights and to listen to more episodes, subscribe to The Awakened Goddess Show at theawakenedgoddess.com and discover wisdom that'll change your life.